Good afternoon, everyone. This is Sheen, and we welcome you all. And I'll be your host for today. We welcome you all to the second day of HR Connect 2.0. Every profession matters. We are pleased to inform you that today we have with us Mr. Deepak Parikh, who is a content creator, TEDx speaker, and an entrepreneur. He completed his bachelor's degree from St. Xavier's College, Kolkata, and is now the co-founder of Career Kira, a platform where you will gain profession specific practical knowledge. He also creates positive, motivating, and thought provoking content, which has gathered over 10 plus million views online. He has spoken across various platforms, including IITs, AIESEC, Lions Club International, NMIMS, and DU. His most notable speaker session is TEDx, where Sir has spoken about 3 times. We welcome you, Sir.
Thank you so much, Sheen, and thank you to the entire team of HRDC SRCC for having me. Are we good to go? Can we begin?
So just I'll introduce the topic. Our topic for today's session is age and youth, experience and young talent. So I would request if you can please express your thoughts on the same, sir.
Sure. Firstly, thank you so much, Sheen, Tiksha, and the entire team of HRDC SRCC for having me. It's been an absolute honor to be amongst the students of the number one college of the country. So, firstly, thank you so much for having me. I remember the time when I graduated from college back in 2017. So I couldn't make it to this college. I wanted to make it through SRCC, but I couldn't make it through this college. But I think life gives you a second chance. Uh, not unfortunately not as a student, but as a speaker. So I'm really glad to be here. Really glad to be talking about age and youth, talking about experience and young talent. So I think primarily the theme of the talk is theme of the entire HR Connect 2.0 is every profession matters. And when we think about every profession matters, what do we where does this theme stem from? I mean, if we talk about every profession matters, the very fact that we're talking about every profession matters essentially means that not every profession is given its due, right? We're talking about the difference between conventional and unconventional career choices. Someone who is doing a BCom or a BMS or alongside if he's doing CA, CFA, company secretaryship, CMA, or any other professional course, he's looked upon because everybody talks well of them. Everybody talks. Okay, so he's doing a fantastic course. He'll get a good job. He'll then get married. He'll have kids. He'll be well settled in life, right? That's what the society tells us to do. But the point is, who decides what the norm should be? Who decides what the norm should be? If we are talking about the conventional career choices, there are so many unconventional career choices out there that people don't even know about, and people are making good money out of it. For example, I recently read a post on LinkedIn which talked about the world of freelancing, and 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 in our country specifically, not a lot of respect is given to freelancers because they say कि अरे ये तो part time job है, कमाते कितना हो. That's what the notion is कि यार ठीक है, freelance तो चलो ठीक है. What's your real time job? What's your full time job? How do you earn? And you, if you are a freelancer and if you are faced with such a question, you kind of feel embarrassed because you don't know how to answer that question, because you, in your head, you're like you're a full time freelancer, but you being a freelancer, you do not have the right mindset to answer that question, because he's that person is basically posing as a personal attack to you. This statement is like a personal attack to your entire life as a whole, right? So this happened with me. I think when I started off as a content creator, I started off in the year 2018. I started off more than 2 years back now, and I remember I was at this family function. So there's this distant relative of mine who comes up to me, walks up to me. I remember, and I distinctly remember this because this is a very vivid incident that happened with me. He had his dinner plate in his hand. and I just happened to be there around him. So the standard question that every relative would ask you at a function, or beta kya karte ho? I was, so that time I had just started creating content and I just passed out of college. So I said, uncle, I'm a social media influencer. उनका literally हाथ से the spoon fell down. And then he took like a 10-second pause, and then he said, अच्छा, वो सब तो ठीक है, but करते क्या हो? Uh, so so probably it took like a minute or so to grasp the intensity of what I'm doing. But that is exactly the point that I'm trying to make here. With regard to age and young talent, with regard to youth and experience, I think age has got nothing to do with the kind of work that one can do. Right? I created a video in one of my on one of my Instagram reels as well, where I talked about how people relate the kind of work to do with your age. Right? If you being a young student, if you being young enough, maybe 10 years old or 12 years old or 18 years old or 20 years old, if you do phenomenal work, and if people, if you go out there and tell them that, okay, I'm doing this and this work, people ask you what's your age. That's like one of the most bizarre things that you can ever come across. And when you tell them that I'm 18, the the number one advice that you, the number one statement that you'll hear is, in most cases, you'll hear is, अभी तुम बहुत छोटे हो, ये सब अभी ये सब मत करो, पढ़ाई पे ध्यान दो, ये सब बाद में करना, बाद में ये सब के लिए बहुत टाइम मिलेगा, बाद में करना. That is the standard reply that people get, and I've got that reply, which is why I'm speaking from experience. If just to share a small story about, since we're speaking about age and youth, we're talking about experience and young talent. Um, there's a very interesting 2-minute story. So there was a young 12-year-old boy sitting in Palo Alto in the US, and he wanted to build a frequency counter in the US. Okay. uh, and he looked up the yellow pages in his area. He looked up the directory in his area, and he searched, and he didn't have the required parts for it. Okay. So he looked up the yellow pages in his area. He looked up the directory in his area. He found out some numbers of IT companies and some people, some vendors who could help him supply with the parts for his frequency counter. And he got hold of a number of the founder of a very famous IT company. Okay. So he called up the founder of the IT company, and he told him that, oh, okay, so I am thinking of building a frequency counter. And since you are a very leading IT company, you're running a very leading IT company, we would want you to, I would want you to please supply me with the required spare parts. The founder laughed at first. They had like a 20-30 minute conversation. The founder laughed for like 10 minutes, but he not only gave him the spare parts, he also offered a summer internship at his very own company. And he was the youngest person to have ever landed a summer internship at that particular company. Now, let me take two names here, which will clarify the entire situation. The founder of the company was Bill Hewlett, who is the founder of HP. We all know that. Can anybody guess who the 12-year-old boy sitting in Palo Alto was? Would anybody like to take a guess? If they want to write it in the chat, if they want to unmute themselves, I just want you guys to please just take a random guess. Anybody, any name. Deepak bhi bol sakte ho. Anybody. Just take any name. What do you think? Would anybody like to have a go? I know people will be shy. I know that people would not want to take a very random name and embarrass themselves, but that's the point. Just take a random guess. You might be correct. That's what I'm saying. The 12. Okay, I get it. Anjali says you. Wow, fantastic. Great. Hardik says Warren Buffett. No, it's not. So the 12-year-old boy was Steve Jobs, the co-founder, the founder, and ex-CEO of Apple. That is exactly what I'm trying to make here. That is the exact point I'm trying to make here. You are never, ever young to make an impact in today's time and age. If Rabindranath Tagore can write his first poem at the age of 8, What stops you from thinking you can't do it? There was you must have read about this very young boy called Tanmay Bakshi, right? He started. There was a very there were a lot of articles about this young boy from India who started coding at the age of 5. Now a lot of companies are promising that you can become a coder at the age of 6. I won't name the company, but a lot of there's this young folk from India who started coding at the age of 5. Back, I think it was almost 10 years or maybe 20 years, 15 years back from now. I think, but that changed the entire trajectory of the situation. That is exactly the point I'm trying to bring here. If 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 which is why there will be a lot of people who will come up to you and tell you that okay boss, impact बाद में लाना, ये सब बाद में सोचना, अभी पढ़ाई पे ध्यान दो, पहले कॉलेज खत्म करो, प्लेसमेंट में बैठो, गेट अ डिग्री, गेट अ जॉब, पहले बैंक पे पैसा आने दो, उसके बाद इम्पैक्ट का सोचना. That is the exact thought process that is being enforced upon us, right? Which is why we talk about such unconventional career choices, right? And I'm not talking about just unconventional career choices. For example, content creation as a whole. If anybody wants to become a content creator in this world, time and age, they can for sure go ahead and do it. Nobody's telling you to do a CFA or a CA or a CS or an MBA just for the sake of it, just because everybody else is doing it. I'm addressing a pool of one of the smartest people in the country right now. One of the smartest people in the country who have the potential to create an impact and make a dent in the universe. I'm talking to such smart people right now. And if we are forced to believe and follow a trajectory which we do not want to eventually, our talent will eventually go to waste. Do we ever realize the importance of such things? You can become a motivational speaker, for God's sake. If you have interest in speaking, there's a legit career. If you like a painting or drawing, there's a legit career for it. Put out your work on social media and you will be recognized for it. Whatever you like doing, there is a career for it. You name the thing and I will name the career for you. That is the kind of world and the kind of opportunities we are sitting on right now. The kind of human potential that we have at this time and age is phenomenal, is magnificent. You want to do something, you can do it. You have the right opportunity in front of you. 20 साल पहले, 25 साल पहले, from our parents' generation did not have that opportunity, which is why we're talking about those conventional career choices, which is why we're talking about those options. But right now, you literally can make videos and earn from it. That is exactly the kind of mindset that you should have. You want to follow your passion? Great, fantastic. Follow your passion. I'm all up for it. But just find out ways of how you can monetize it. Think about the kind of mind space you will be in where you're doing what you love. You're enjoying your work every single day, right? And eventually making money out of it. Doesn't it sound like a dream job? You can do that. And that is exactly why I'm telling you to do it. Because there will be a lot of people who will come up to you and tell you, "Kya ye sab mat karo, ye sab baad mein karna," which is probably one of the most absurd things that you can come across. And that happened with me. Just to share a small experience with you guys, because this is an opportunity for me to interact with some of the smartest people in the country, smartest students in the country. In college, you will come across a lot of people, right? Some of them will tell you to do this particular thing. Some of them will tell you to do this particular thing. Some of them will just not react to whatever you are doing. And that is the majority of the people, right? They will not even give enough respect to what you're doing. I'm addressing a pool of students aged between 19 to 23, if I'm not wrong. This is a golden period of your life. A lot of careers, as they say, make or break, right? And this phase will force you, mark my words, this phase will force you into believing that you need to have a sorted career path as soon as your college ends. This phase will force you to believe कि आप अगर आपके पास एक career path नहीं है after you graduate from a reputed college like SRCC, what did you even do with your life? So if anybody wants to figure out their passion, if anybody wants to know what they're good at, if anybody wants to know whether they are good at something, just go out there and try out 10 different things. Because right now we are sitting on the opportunity, and this decade will be from 2021 to 2030. We'll see an exponential difference in the kind of technological innovations, in the kind of technological advancement, in the kind of companies that are trying to disrupt the entire industry. Hiring will entirely change because we know that the pandemic has happened. So the hiring will entirely change, right? We're talking about age and young talent. We're talking about experience, right? So not a lot, because a lot of startups are coming up from India, and a lot of startups are getting funded from India. Young talent is seen as the next big thing. People would want to recruit young talent. I am bullish on young talent right now. I would want to recruit 10 folks from SRCC for my company. I would want to recruit 10 folks from SRCC for my company right now, right away, because we're looking for interns right now. We're also looking for full-time jobs. So I would definitely want to recruit approximately 10 people from here, which is why we're so bullish on young talent right now. The entire hiring landscape is going to change. The entire hiring landscape. We're moving towards a gig economy, right? Where freelance work and contractual work and project-based work will become the new norm. If you are a freelancer and if you specialize in a particular skill, if you specialize in finance, if you're an analyst, if you are a graphic designer, if you are a video editor, if you are a content writer, if you are a social media marketer, you will be looked upon, because these things will become the new norm, right? These are because for a simple reason that we are moving towards a gig economy. This does not go on to say that, and this will entirely replace full-time employees, but there will be a huge chunk of employees who will be contractual workers, who will be, I'm not just talking about labor, I'm talking about the contractual. By contractual, I mean project-based. So if you specialize in a particular skill, you will be hired for that particular skill, for that particular project. And after the project completes, the company will tell you bye-bye, give you the payment, tell you bye-bye. Okay, thank you so much for working with us. We'd love to work with you further. That is the entire landscape we are sitting on right now. This decade, the entire hiring process will change. The entire working process will change. And it has already changed. Even now, I think after the unlock has happened, I think so many companies are still working from home. And this is happening. So our clients, we have a lot of clients in terms of in Mumbai, Delhi, Nagpur, Siliguri, Bangalore, and we know that every single company is working out of home. So we're talking about diversity here. We're talking about the kind of impact and the kind of value that young talent can bring to the workforce. There are certain skills that will definitely become more and more prevalent in the coming years. One will be critical thinking. If you as a student can solve critical problems of the company and bring solutions to that particular company, you will be looked as an asset to the company, and that company will never want to let go of you. Second, creativity. If you are working in a company where you can provide creative solutions, you can provide creative ideas bring creative ideas on board, in terms of a marketing idea, in terms of a marketing campaign, in terms of finance, in terms of HR, in terms of PR. How can you design the creative? Anything. If you can bring creative ideas on board, you will be looked upon. And that is something we all need to focus on. Critical thinking, creativity. The third one would be collaboration. If you as an individual are ready to work in teams, if you are seen as a team player, because eventually you will be working with a team, right? There will be more people working with you on that particular project. You cannot have an individualistic approach in terms of the project that you are being given. If you are able to work in a team environment and thrive in that team environment, you will be looked as an asset, and the company will never want to let go of you. And the fourth skill And the fourth skill would be communication. I encourage and I please encourage you all to just speak wherever and in whichever opportunity you get, because we as students, as individuals, as young talent, we have the opportunity. The आपके पास एक ready audience है. You have a ready audience in front of you, right? You do not have to care about the audience कि यार audience कहाँ से आएगा. You have the audience in front of you. The college students are your audience. If you want to speak in front of a ready audience, in front of 200, 300, 500 folks, it's there. You just have to come out of your comfort zone, step up, raise your hand, unmute your mic. In most cases, then not, you shouldn't. But if you are unmuting your mic, then you should unmute your mic and just speak up. And I know that there's this very common fear. The one would be the fear of criticism. The very famous problem of log kya kahenge? Yeah, what if I just unmute myself, say something very stupid, give a very stupid answer? What will my students, what will my friends say? Kya re, ye tumne to ye kya bekar answer de diya? And I know this fear is there, and I know this fear is there. It was there with me as well. But now, if you realize this, just look at it in the long-term perspective. If you unmute yourself and take that step, you are coming out of your comfort zone, right? B, what if the answer is correct? I know that you are not 100% sure of the answer. You're not 100% sure of the point you're trying to make. But what if that is correct? Because every point, in most cases, there are a lot of situations where answers are subjective. You might have a perspective on that particular topic. Others might have a different perspective on it. Just unmute yourself, just raise that hand. If you're in a physical event, just raise your hand and volunteer to speak. And trust me, this will do a world of confidence to you. This will boost up your confidence to another level. I'm being able to speak right now decently enough, I would say. Not because I've always been a good speaker. I was never a good speaker. When I started my journey as essentially a keynote speaker, I was very shy. I messed up so many events. The first time I spoke on stage was in class 11 in my school when I was hosting a patriotic song competition, and I messed the entire speech in front of 1,000 students. The teacher gave me a stare, probably a death stare, that she would stab me out as soon as I walk out of stage. And then she told me, and then I knew that I had messed up. I wasn't able to say a simple hi or a hello or a good morning in front of 1,000 students. The respected principal and so I come from a Christian school. The father was sitting there. The teachers are sitting there. The students are sitting there. And I, on the other hand, being a naive MC, being a host, isn't able to say a simple hello or a good morning or a welcome speech. It's bizarre. I walked off stage. The teacher is standing in just parallel to me, and she's giving me a death stare. She's like, "Deepak, just continue the speech and come out. We'll see whatever happens. Just continue the speech and come out." I walked off. I knew I was up for a scolding. I knew I was up for a beating rather. But she told me one thing. Okay, we all know that you messed up. We all agree to that fact. But it's good that you continue the speech. It's good that you tried. You will continue to become better at that one thing. Just keep on doing it. And I know this stems from a place where you would not want to do it, maybe because a lot of people will make fun of you. You will get embarrassed. You will become a public shame. All of that is fine, but look at it from a long-term perspective. Long-term में ये सब चीज फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. Long-term में when you are told to give a presentation at an office, and there if you mess up, you will then understand the importance that, okay, I had messed up in college. I have that experience. Now I am comfortable enough that I will be at least better than what I was 5 years back or 3 years back or whatever. Just go out there, expose yourself out there, and start speaking. Communication is one of the key aspects in any profession that you are in, right? You be a freelancer, you do a corporate job, you do your own startup, you do whatever. Communication is one of the key aspects in terms of getting clients, in terms of cracking that presentation, in terms of doing that sales negotiation, in terms of anything that you do. Anything and everything is will be a very easy ride if you are a good communicator, right? So I think all these four aspects: critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and communication, will go a long way in doing a world of confidence. So 5 C's is something that I'd like you guys to take from here. So just that, and on the concluding note, because I would like to take some questions from here on. So on the concluding note, I feel that we're moving towards the gig economy. So the entire hiring landscape is going to change. There will be a lot of freelance work available. There will be a lot of jobs in terms of full-time jobs as well. So if you are thinking that okay, full-time jobs is totally going to be out of option, it's not the case. There will be full-time jobs available. Don't worry, you will be employed. Just do not focus on uh, thinking that there are only conventional jobs available. If you want to create content out there, go ahead and do it. I know there will be fear, and I know there are a lot of creative folks whose creativity just goes down the drain because they are told to do something by the society. I say this from experience. So many people have come up to me and told me that okay, we didn't believe in you when you started, but now you're doing decently good. So I think it all boils down to just putting in the work and trying out 10 different things when you're in college, because right now you have the time to do it. Right now you have the the right skill set and the right mindset, and since you are young, you have the energy and the vigor and the enthusiasm, and likewise you can add more 3 4 objectives. uh, you have that vigor in you, right? You have that energy and enthusiasm with you. 10 years later you would not want to do it. You like, अरे यार ठीक है, ये तो जॉब है ही ना मेरे पास, अच्छा पैसा आ रहा है, मेरे को और करने की जरूरत नहीं है. But अभी you can try out 15 different things, 20 different things, because you have the time right now. So just be very I mean, I would not say don't take life very seriously is one thing that I'd like to say. I've in my experience of running a startup for over 4 years now, in my experience of being a content creator for over 2 years now, and in my experience of being a lifelong learner, I've learned this one thing, that if you take life very seriously, you will not be able to enjoy the little things in life. So just enjoy the process. Please enjoy the process. If you're not enjoying the process, eventually you will hate every minute of your life. We all know where India lands in the happiness index of the world, right? It's one of the bottommost countries. Norway is the topmost country in terms of the happiest countries in the world, right? You need a job in terms of following your passion, in terms of liking what you do, and eventually make money out of it, and go to sleep a happy person eventually. So just don't take life very seriously, and just love the process of whatever you are doing. Remember one thing: we are sitting on an opportunity where we have, in a world where we have so many opportunities. The human potential is limitless. I'm telling you, the human potential is limitless. There is no limit to the kind of human potential that we all possess. We can do great things. A lot of times we get bogged down by people, because some of our peers do great things in life. That's great. That's fantastic. But you have to learn one thing. You have to keep going. That is the only thing that we can do. Just keep going. Don't worry about the results. Keep putting in the work. Don't take life very seriously. Focus on these 5 C's, and just enjoy the process. That would be those takeaways from this talk. I would love to take questions. I do not want to just go on and on in terms of what I want to portray, because I know a lot of people get bored eventually. So I'd like to take some questions. I'm sure, and I want people to ask even the stupidest of the stupidest questions that they might have. Please go ahead and ask. Please, I request, I beg you all to please ask any question that you have.
So personally, I would like to say that I had a really amazing time listening to you, and a lot of things that you said were relatable because we are at that age. Now, like, because you have expressed your thoughts, I would like everyone to ask their questions. So, guys, if you have any questions, just type it in the chat box and I'll be addressing them. So before the questions come in, I personally had a question. If you can take that up. Uh,
Go ahead.
so, so like, yeah, so, sir, like, first of all, I was really eager and excited to host you because you're a content creator and I'm myself interested in doing that, but I don't know the path as of yet. I'm working on it. So my question was that you see a lot of content being created on the internet, right? So like, there's so much coming up constantly. There's, no dearth of content. Every second, something new is coming up. So how do you suggest, or how do you feel that in a vast pool of content creators or audience which is available online, one can create their own personal brand name or the brand name of their organization in such a great competition?
Love that question. Love that question, Sheen. And I'm so glad you asked this question. Um, everybody starts with zero followers. Everybody starts with zero likes. Everybody starts with zero comments. Everybody starts with zero shares, right? Everybody starts with from zero, from scratch. Nobody gets a ready base. कि यार आज मेरे पास 10,000 followers है तो I have a base and I can stand out from the crowd, right? The only reason, the only thing that you need to focus on is when you're starting to create content, and I said this in one of my video posts as well, create what you love until you love creating. Okay, create what you love. So if you are passionate about say content writing, if you are passionate about creating content around finance, around business, around startups, around economics, around helping students, around fashion, beauty, lifestyle, travel, anything that you are passionate about, anything that you feel you can do good at, start creating content around those topics. Okay, so create what you love until you love the process of creating. You firstly, since you are starting off as a creator, you would not know if you actually love the process or not. How would you know if you love the process or not? By doing, right? If you do, if you create content for like 6 months, 8 months, and if you're enjoying the process and if you would like to do it further, only then you realize that okay, हाँ मेरे को मजा आ रहा है. I'm getting some traction. People are coming to me and asking me a lot of questions. People want to know more from me. People would want to hear more from me. People would want to see more video content from me, and I would want to provide them value. So start when you're starting off as a creator, start creating content around topics that you love until you love the process of creating itself. And when you feel that you love the process, eventually you can explore to any topic that you are passionate about and just be you. Just be you. People have fallen in love with the way I say cheers. I don't know. It's just a normal thing that I say at the end of my videos. But it's just that people have fallen in love with me. A lot of times they tell me that okay, video to dekh liya, but cheers nahi bola, to video fail ho gaya. I am cracking my brains to create the best piece of content out there, and people just simply care about the word cheers, which is fantastic. The kind of personal brand that I am sitting on right now is amazing. Is just funny, but that's the point. You just have to be you. You just have to. People will fall in love with your style. People will fall in love with the kind of with the way you create content. So if you go in your journey, if you just copy people or if you be a different version of somebody else, people will say कि अरे ये तो first copy है, इसको नहीं देखेंगे. But if you be you, just keep at it. Social media game consistency पे based है. If you just be very consistent in terms of what you are creating, and don't worry about the metrics. Don't worry about the number games, because starting में बहुत आपको फर्क पड़ेगा कि अरे यार 20 ही लाइक आया, 400 लोग ने स्टोरी देखा लेकिन लाइक सिर्फ 20 आए. So people are watching you but people are not liking your work. तो ये क्यों हो रहा है? This will happen, but just don't get bogged down by the number metrics. Just don't focus on the number metrics for now. Just focus on creating what you can do best, which is creating the best piece of content out there. You're good to go.
Thank you, sir. I think that helped me a lot. And if anyone had that kind of a question, I'm sure they would have got cleared on that part. So some questions have come up. Bhavya Bansal has asked, apart from taking every opportunity to stand on the stage and speak, what else can we do on a personal level to improve communication skills so as to avoid messing up on stage?
Lovely, lovely, lovely. And I will answer that with taking her latter part of the question, which is to avoid messing up on stage. आप कितने भी बड़ी speaker बन जाओ, you will mess up on stage. You will mess up on stage. You introduced me as a keynote speaker in terms of giving speeches all around the country in terms of colleges and whatever. I take immense pride in that. But I have messed up in so many events. It's not even funny. It is not even funny, and it eventually comes off as a story that I share in other events. Like for example, today I'm sharing an event. Today I'm sharing a story about my previous mess ups. If I mess up today, this will become a story. This will become a potential piece of content for my next. Could be my reel, could be my video, could be my next carousel post, could be my next event that I'm speaking at. Right? So you will never reach that perfection. You can never reach that perfection. Let me be very honest with you. Right? That's number one. With that being said, you can improve. What you can do is you can constantly evolve, learn, and improve. Right? So if you want to improve as a speaker, the number one thing that you should be doing right now is stand in front of the mirror and record an entire speech. The way you say it, if you can even read a book that's in front of you. So if this book is in front of me, I can read whatever's written here in sitting in front of standing in front of the mirror and read the entire article, read the blog post, read the article, read the books, and record the entire speech. See where you're going wrong. If you're too fast, record the entire speech once again with with a little slowly. If you're too slow, increase the pace. If you're okay, then focus on the tonality. Focus on taking the right pauses. If you want to emphasize on a particular topic, take a pause, like I did right now when I said take a pause. Right? So take a pause when you want to emphasize on a particular topic. If you want to focus on a particular topic, take a pause. And that's how you learn. So eventually, when you're sitting at the comfort of your home, just putting it out there, I'm starting a 31-day challenge from tomorrow. I'm being very selfish here, but I'm starting a 31-day challenge from tomorrow. So if anybody would like to join that, they can do that. There is a task in terms of communication as well in that 31-day challenge. So the point is that if you put yourself out there, so what you can do is in terms of improving your communication. So read like 4 articles, read 3 to 4 articles, business articles, or any article that you come across. Okay. Gather four friends of yours in a gathering or over a Zoom call, whichever works best for you guys, and brainstorm on that particular article. See where you are going wrong. See what your thoughts are. See what their thoughts are. What you learn from this: A, organizing skills; B, communication skills; C, listening skills. The number one communicate. Who is a better communicator? The one who does not speak well, but the one who listens well. If you can listen intently, you are seen as a good communicator. So if somebody else wants to put across a point, take a pause, take the back seat and listen to them. If you are making a point, make sure nobody interrupts you. This is not a debate, right? This is a discussion. So if you want to improve communication, sitting at the comfort of your homes, and then these would be some of the steps that you can do.
Thank you for the answer, sir. Another question is that some tips on time management and multitasking, because in college we are sort of busy and even free. So we want to try those 10 things. So how do you suggest we utilize our time in the best manner?
Lovely, lovely, lovely. And with time management, I can answer this one question by taking this one of the very famous statements by Ankur Warikoo. He says time management is not time management. Time management is energy management. So if you can manage your energy, you can manage your time. That is one of the simplest yet most impactful answers that I can come up with. So all credit goes to Ankur Warikoo here, who's come up with this very interesting statement. Nobody, even I didn't think that way. I did not have that perspective. So if you come to think about it, it is so true. If you can manage your energy, eventually your time gets managed. A lot of people have asked me this, so you are working on a startup as well, you are creating content as well, you are doing so many things. How do you manage your time? you are doing these keynote sessions as well. Number one, I manage my energy. Number two, nothing that I'm doing is something that I don't like. Everything that I'm doing is what I love, is what I love doing. Even if I'm speaking to young folks, young individuals, in students, in events, I love doing that because I know that there are so many people who go wrong in this time and phase, and I want to address the people, and I want to impact and impart my learnings in any way possible. Even if I'm able to impart one learning, and if you can take one learning from this session, I consider this session to be successful. So time management is energy management. Very simply put by Variku, all credit goes to him. Manage your energy, you'll manage your time.
Thank you so much, sir, for answering those questions. We would have loved to hear more from you but because of the time constraints, we'll wrap the session here. So thank you so much, sir, for taking out
Sheen, there's one question I'd like to take. There's one question in the chat by Chesta Arora. She's asking, how does one know their interests? Everyone is like, follow your passion. What if you haven't figured out yours? Lovely question, Chesta. And I think the only way to try that, to know if you to know what your passion is to try out 10 different things, as I mentioned. I tried out, I tried doing, in a local community, I tried doing stand up as well. And obviously I miserably failed at it. A lot of people, friends come up to you and tell you, "Arey, yaar, you're kind of funny. You should try stand up." I tried stand up, of course. Shouldn't have heard them, shouldn't have listened to them. But the point I'm trying to make here is, the only way you will understand what you truly like and truly what your passion is by trying out 10 different things and understanding what you like and what you don't. Eventually, back of the mind में आपको एक idea तो होगा कि यार, okay, this is one domain that I like, this is one industry that I like. कुछ तो idea होगा. And even if you don't have any idea, what is that one thing that you can do and that you start doing for one day and continue doing it for the rest of your life? That is one question. I'd leave that answer with that one question. Think about it. You should get your answer. I hope I've answered Chesta's question.
So, sir, with this, I think we'll wrap the session. Thank you so much for taking out so much of your time. And thank you to the participants for being so interactive and asking such interesting questions. And we are really thankful to you, sir, for coming on board. We hope to connect with you soon. Thank you so much, sir, for joining.
100%. Thank you so much, guys, for this lovely session. Thank you, Tiksha, for the smoothest coordination. Thank you, Sheen, for being a lovely host. And thank you to everybody who turned on their cameras. I think this is fantastic. This is can anybody take a screenshot, please? Or rather, I'll only take it. Thank you so much, guys. This has been a fantastic session. Thank you so much for having me. Although I couldn't make it for my undergrad at SRCC. But as I said, life comes full circle somehow, in some way or the other. So just keep putting in the work. Just two thoughts. Just keep putting in the work and just enjoy the process. We're sitting on an opportunity where we have unlimited human potential. Just remember this. You are meant to do great things in life. Just keep putting in the work and just enjoy the process. All right. With that thought, thank you so much for having me, to the entire team of HRDC, SRCC, for having me. It's been a lovely time with you guys. Thank you so much, and I will definitely connect with you guys for sure. Thank you so much.